supposed to have your most energy for, so it doesn't make sense to like do sprints in the morning, then strength conditioning, and then box at night. I reckon it's not it.
That goes to show how crazy this guy is. He's running around Caboolture at 1 a.m.
Yeah, King Street getting attacked by dogs.
Yeah,
you don't know how often I get attacked by dogs. I got attacked by my neighbour's Rottweiler like 3 weeks ago. Horrible.
Wearing a full hoodie and a tracksuit, and you're running through Caboolture, mate. You get shot.
Yeah.
Crazy, man. Hey guys, welcome back to, I think it is episode 7 of the All-Star Boxing Podcast. Got a cool one for you. Joining me on the panel tonight, we have Coach Benny on the end there, and first timer, my stable mate, Benjamin, the hype beast, Hussein. So
let's go.
Thanks for jumping on tonight.
No, we'll see.
Where did you get your fight name from, the hype beast?
I went to America. I went to New Zealand. And
there's a big difference between bro.
Yeah.
You have been to America, but
I have. Yeah. No, I went to New Zealand, and they asked me for a fight name, and on the spot I just came up with Hype Beast. And then I won, and they asked why did I call myself that. I said shits and gigs. They didn't know what it means. Everyone was just looking at me like
what?
Yeah, everyone was looking like I was an alien, and then it just stuck from there.
Yeah, nice. Oh, it's stuck since. How long ago was that? A while back.
Ages ago. Yeah, maybe I was 16, 17. Yeah.
Yeah. That was cool. Hype Beast. So,
Hype Beast.
You fought last week. You fought, how do you say his name? Joel Pavlidis.
Yeah, that sounds right to me.
That was a good fight because, Benny, what do you think? That was just, he was durable.
Yeah, great opponent. Yeah, obviously everybody saw the fight. Joel brought it. He won a couple of rounds, and it was super back and forth competitive fight. So that's the kind of fights that we want to be in. So I'm happy with the result. And
look at the highlights here.
Real well.
Reece, this is the end highlights are right at the end. Exactly an hour 39 in. Anyway, we'll tune in.
2 kids who we here at Ace Boxing say, welcome back whenever you want.
Well, we've said it throughout the coverage. It was a testament, obviously, to their training camps, because there was no off button in both boys as they just threw and did not stop from go to O. As you can see, both boys having their fair share of success to the body and to the head. Hussein caught with a really good shot there from Pavlidis, but he gave plenty back himself. What a fight. The 4th fight on the night tonight, and no doubt the best one so far.
Yeah, absolutely. Our first 3 results so far, Stefan Ivic won with a first round knockout. Ricky Silva won by TKO in round number 4. And Nicola Costello won.
Nice. Like I said, he was durable. He was able to take the shots. Were you in any trouble? No,
it was pretty. I was controlling everything I wanted to do.
Yeah.
It was pretty controlled. I think he won the first, but I definitely landed the better shots, and then I think the next 5 rounds I just controlled it.
Yeah.
And those highlights are terrible. There surely is better highlights than that in there for both of us.
Left out was dancing.
Yeah.
There's a bit of dancing in there.
Yeah,
to try and calm the big fella down because he gets a bit carried away. He was shaking his legs around.
What about you, Benny, when you're in those moments and, we can get carried away or whatever, maybe too showboaty, whatever, what's your go-to? How do you...
Yeah, I just got to, there is a time for that, because if you are showboating and it's working and you're having fun, you got to let the boxer do that, because they're in their groove, we've all been there. When you get into that groove and shit's working, then, you can stay on it, but obviously you've always got to stay defensively minded, because it only takes one shot in those small gloves, and it's all she wrote.
Yeah. Was there anything specifically you're working on for that camp?
No, not really. We knew we were going to be able to do what we wanted in the fight, so we were just working on being well-rounded, and I went in with a hand injury, so we wanted to be able to use lots of different skills and lots of different styles, whatever I needed, so that, why we went southpaw and we started working lots off the lead hand, things like that. And my the catch left hook was landing well, but couldn't turn the knuckles over, so I was going to slap him with the fingers. But yeah, it was good.
Yeah, and that's the thing, like you said, riding it, just taking shots, but more so in a way where you can start giving back. Because I think it was around 3 onwards where you started just popping them.
Yeah.
Like you'll be in defense mode, and then just a sharp hook or something. You can see you're the harder puncher, but you started popping those shots from 3 onwards. Boxing them, but then boom, there'll be that one.
Yeah, we did have a complete different game plan at the start of the prep. Literally, so for the first half of the prep, we were working on a certain thing. We won't say it because we'll probably use it in other fights. But yeah, with the hand injury, we had to change the whole thing up.
Yeah.
So the last 3 weeks we kind of just had to nurse the hand through, and even in the fight we had to have a really, really big knuckle guard on to try and protect it. We could barely get his hand in the glove, to be honest. And then the tactic changed. But as I said, like as Ben said in the interview before it, like he could fight that fight. We felt. However we wanted to. Box long, we could box southpaw, we could box orthodox, and that's no disrespect to Joel. He's a good fighter, and he brought it. And we probably do sound like idiots saying that we could do what we want because he is a very good fighter. It's credit to Joel that he pushed Ben as far as he did, but he is very well rounded, and we believe in what he can do. So
there's levels.
Levels to this.
Yeah.
That's where I got to calm him down. See.
Yeah. So how do you feel? Like you've been the coach, you're coaching all of us, and you can see what makes all of us special. Just different, unique styles. What makes Ben Hussein different? What's something that you see?
Mate, he's got a very good story, and hopefully we hear more of it tonight. Like his actual backstory, I didn't know Ben as well as I have now since that I coach him. But when we were going down to spar Tim Zoo, we had a big chat, and he's got a very interesting story. He's got a very, very interesting background. But he's a different kind of person. He's very confident. He's got a lot of skills. He's got a lot of flashiness. A lot of the stuff that he did in the amateurs. I mean, when I used to watch him in the amateurs, I'd watch Benny fight. I was over in New Zealand when he fought a few guys over there, and he just wiped the floor with them all. And I was cornering him over there as a Queensland coach. His actual coach was Luke Sheehan from Spiders, who hats off to Luke. He's literally created Ben.
He's a great coach.
He's a great coach and he's a great man. So I'd be over there watching him and just watching him fight those guys. I couldn't even think of a way to beat him because he was just on, and it's just so awkward. He's so long. Then he gets confident and he can embarrass you. Like he can really make you look stupid. So it's my job now to rein him back in and just use that flair when it's there. You don't have to go looking for it. It comes, that time comes. But yeah, he's definitely a special kid. He can box all stances. As you progress through the pros and you start to fight high level people, you got to pick a stance. Really, you can switch every now and again, but at that top level, it just takes a quick adjustment from the opponent, and they can sort that out. If you're not a natural southpaw, or if you're not a natural orthodox, and you're trying to switch. But yeah, he can do that at the moment. He can do that pretty comfortably. He can fight on the inside really well. He's got a huge engine. Yep. He's got respectable power, and he's a tough human, as we all know, with the broken jaw thing. He fought 7 rounds with his jaw snapped in two, and he was whinging when they stopped it. So that just goes to show the character of the guy.
Yeah, and we'll get into that too shortly. So both of us, we both have old backgrounds with our old amateur coaches. You're with Luke Shen with Spiders. Benny, do you feel you have to recondition old conditioning?
Yeah, it's very tough. It's very tough, and that's not just me. If any coach, if I sent Vegas up to Luke, it'd take him a long time to connect because you got to start talking the same language in there. For the first year, I'm saying stuff, and then after it, we'd debrief about the sparring or the fighting, and we'd have to, he'd ask what did I mean by that, because I'm used to prompting you guys with certain things, and it's very tricky. It is very tricky as a coach to be able to speak the same language as the boxer.
Yeah.
But it's something that over time it happens.
Yeah.
And it's an adjustment that it happens not just in this gym, as I say, it happens everywhere. So.
And how long were you at Spiders for?
Maybe 5 years. So I had my first fight 15. How long ago did I move here? A year and a half ago.
Yeah.
What's the mass on that? Like 7 years, I guguess.
Yeah. You've been boxing 7 years. First 5 with Spiders.
Yep. Yeah, I had my first fight under Luke, and I feel like the reason why I have such a quirky style, like Luke, he doesn't always teach fundamentals. First, you walk in the gym, say you got quick feet or you got good reflex or you hit hard. What you're good at, he will just make it through the roof. And that's why everyone there fights different styles. Not the best fundamentals all the time, but really good flair. Like they're good at what they do. So.
Yeah. And how have you found your time now at Orsa? Big difference?
Yeah, I found it really good. Like the transition was pretty easy for me because no Liam, travelled with Vegas, travelled with Benny. I know you from sparring, someone used to train. So it's pretty easy transition. And it's good being here, and it's just lots of fundamentals and lots of like conditioning, the fundamentals basically. And then now we're starting to get that down pat, and we're starting to add what I did in the amateurs now. So we're starting to string it all together, and I have struggles understanding what Benny means sometimes, but it's starting to come together now, and I feel like people are seeing it in the fights and especially in the sparring. So
yeah, nice. And you've been doing some camps with Tim Tszyu.
Yeah.
Do you feel that's really helped you a lot, having him as a sparring partner?
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely helped me a lot. I think the most thing it's helped with is round management. That's probably the best thing I got out of it. But it was really good. And it was good to go to a world-class camp and see some little drills they do and how they do the strength conditioning, how to do their sprints. And, Igor was really good to me. He let me do every session I wanted with them. And, I picked up heaps. And it's good to come back to this gym and know we do some things not as good and we do some things better. And, it's really good. Yeah.
So we fought on the same night. You cracked your jaw. So bit of context. Ben is saying it was you fought Ben Marnie.
Yeah.
I think I had that Kyle Freiberg, and then it was all news in the changing shed when you cracked your jaw. But that made news, man. That went everywhere because it's such a graphic thing.
Yeah, it was a horrific injury. Yeah, it was
and it spread in the boxing news.
Yeah,
so,
I'm the spokesperson for broken jaws in combat sports.
Dude.
Every time someone breaks their jaw, I get a message on Instagram and like, sorry boys, can't tell you all.
So what have you had? Random people message you?
Just anyone that does Muay Thai, kickboxing, you'll say, I get a message a day. It's just like, hey brother, I broke my jaw, like it's inspiring, like what you did, can you give me tips, or how'd you come back, or does the feeling come back, or just heaps of stuff.
Wow, crazy.
Yeah, all the time.
So I want to pull that up because Joe Rogan shared that. That was crazy.
Yeah, it was on the Joe Rogan podcast.
This camp's been a little bit.
That's crazy, yeah.
Wowie. So that's what I mean by making headlines. That went to Joe Rogan podcast.
Unintentional headline, that one.
Yeah. Not exactly what you want to get out about, but obviously it worked.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely would rather be on the show for something else.
So I'll send the series.
Scary. Savage human being.
Did you see the fighter who had his jaw split and fought for like 4 more rounds?
Sounds like 7-6, which is
the bottom mandible.
That happens. It breaks in half right here and it goes up and down.
Oh, yeah, check
Fuck that.
Oh Jesus! Look how it's dropped down.
They said it happened in the 2nd round, and
he kept fighting?
He wanted to fight, but they had to like tell him, "Hey, your jaw's broken. That's not good."
Well, the problem. Oh my God, that's so broken.
Yeah.
The problem is it'll tear all the tissue in there and it'll never heal right.
and we back, baby.
Oh my God.
Benjamin Hussein from Australia.
Who hit him?
Big money. Big money.
They said it dislodged. They thought it just dislodged his mouthpiece, and then a bunch of blood started coming out.
There was a woman who had that in an MMA fight.
What was going through so you snapped your jaw.
Yep.
And they said it happened in the 2nd round. You fought the whole fight with a broken jaw. What was going through your mind through the fight? Could you feel that?
Yeah, I could feel it. I knew something was wrong straight away. But
What round did it happen in?
It happened like 14 seconds into the first shot I got hit with. Because my mindset was like, I still think this. I think I'd break him down if we fought. And I just went out swinging like it was an amateur fight. And I had 3 fights in 2 months. So I was only pro for 2 months. I didn't understand the little gloves and this and that, which I do now. So, but what was going through my mind was there's a footy player named Comrade Harold, and someone tried to tackle him back in there, and he lifted his knee, and he broke this dude's jaw so bad there was like 5 rows of teeth in the middle of his mouth, like all the way back, like 5. I broke 5 spots, and I was like, so if that's a broken jaw, this must be not a bad broken jaw. That's fully what I thought.
Is that what you were thinking?
Yeah, because I was like, bro, Comrade Harold snapped this dude's jaw in like 5 spots back. Yeah.
Wow.
And so that's what I was thinking. I went back to the corner and Luke was like, you lost your teeth. And I'm like, nah, I think it's something else. I go, can they fix it? And he's like, yeah, you just need surgery. And then the second he said it can be fixed, I was like, let's try it. Let's go. Yeah. So that was the full process.
But everyone's like, man, his jaw's broken. His jaw's broken. And you see it went everywhere.
Oh, the stories were coming because we must have fought before them.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Benny, put into context again, Benny wasn't with our gym at the time.
Yeah.
So he was either before or I don't know. We were upstairs when we were celebrating your win, and it was the stories were coming through. Oh, his tooth went into the third row of the crowd, and this and that, and that's what we were hearing upstairs. We didn't know, like we didn't give a shit really, because we were in our zone. We didn't really, we didn't whatever. And then we had people come up. Oh no, this happened and that happened, and we're like, fucking hell. We didn't really know. I didn't really know until the next day when you saw I think when you put the picture up on your Instagram or wherever it was, you're like, oh man.
Yeah, honest, brutal. It would have been funny to be upstairs and hear how the story changes.
The story just changed a million times.
It would be like, Benny bit him and lost his season.
It was just insane. When everyone was throwing everyone else on the bus, and I'm just like, hey, leave us. We're winning, bro. Leave us out of this. We're about to.
But you fought on.
Sprites.
You fought on. You carried on, and
I fought on. I feel like I love sports, but it's almost like I love winning more. And that's what definitely got me through the fight. You know, I grew up as a competitive kid. I grew up living at my friends' houses, and we used to have comps. Who can go the longest without going to the toilet? Who can eat the most food? Who can put on the most weight over dinner? We knew who the fastest was, and we still did races every night. Like, we were just competitive. Wow. And and that's what got me through the fight, and that's why I am the way I'm inspiring. I am the way in the fights. You know, I'm a winner. I want to win, and mentally I'm undefeated. So
nice. So when you were in the hospital, what was going through your mind? You could talk, you could swallow, you could do anything.
Because what happened, I didn't just break my jaw, so I broke my chin, and it was scratching, or it was moving around in there. So I was like stabbing around, so I was trying not to move, and I was actually covering my face like with the towel, like hanging it over my head, because I was in emergency, and these poor little kids were looking at me like I was something from a horror movie. So I was just covering my face, and I was just waiting for my partner to come. I was more worried about how she was feeling. Yeah. And then they gave me some morphine, and I was like, Luke, I'm fainting. And he's like, nah, don't worry, they just gave me morphine. I'm like, right, tell them not to give me any more of that. Like, yeah. And so I wasn't thinking too much. I was more worried about my career, but I knew I was going to be back, because this is what I love to do, and obviously I do, because some people get a foot surgery or hand surgery and then they call it quits. I was 100%. I was back. I was back way before I should have been back. I was planning to fight before I had my first spar back with Benny, and I had issues with it there. So.
How were you mentally in the sparring? Were you a bit cautious? You didn't want to,
The first one's back felt like my first fight. My first spar back was against Kieran Whitehead, and I was absolutely shitting myself out. It was very confronting. But that's the good thing about breaking your jaw in boxing, because I know it's fine now. But if I broke my jaw in footy, it's not as confronting with the head knock. So you go into a game, get your head knocked, then you're scared. But so I had lots of conditioning before I fight. So I was very scared. Yeah, that's for sure.
Crazy, man. Yeah, wow. Well, you've done the worst of it.
Yeah, well, in that spar, I remember, I don't know if it was, we might have done some in-house sparring just before we sparred Kieran. And we got into the second round, and I said, every time he comes back to the corner, how is it? How's it feel? And he said in one of the rounds, I can feel it a little bit. And I stopped the spar straight away, obviously. I stopped, okay, mate, hop out. He was like, no, I'm good to go. Like, this is the competitiveness that he has. Yeah. It's like, I don't give a fuck if you're good to go. Like, mate, I'm not going to be responsible for that. Get out and, come back. And it broke him too. He was shattered when he got out. He didn't want to get out. I don't know if it broke. I don't know. I can't speak for Benny. I mean, he's here, but I could imagine what would go through his head at that time. Was like, is it ever going to be all right? And then it seemed to be 2 months later, it was good. Like, maybe less.
I remember I had a few angry moments in that back room at the old place, because I'm a bit of a head case, and I'm very emotional. So I had a few times I had issues with it. It was usually like awkward jabs, like after a right straight to the body, just novice stuff. And I just go back there and just lose the plot. I was just like, fuck this. I wasn't happy. But yeah, just. Very blessed to have it back, because I would say my identity as a person is literally I'm a fighter and I'm a father, and that's it. So I'm glad I got that identity back, because I was a bit worried, I was a bit lost, I wasn't sure what I was going to do, but boxing's a good sport, like whatever I wanted to do after, it's given me the life skills to do on the support system. So either way, I'm lucky, but I'm glad to be back.
You definitely got the right mindset about it, and the fact that you're living proof of overcoming something like that.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to be a quitter, because you quit, and then your family quits, and your little brother thinks he can quit, and it trickles down, So I don't want to be that guy that tells my son when I'm on the piss and I'm 40 that, your dad could have been a footy player, but I hurt my knee and I just couldn't do it anymore. I didn't want to be that guy. So I got my shit together, and I got back in the gym as soon as possible, and we're back.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy. And what's your background? You're half Aboriginal?
Yeah, I'm half Aboriginal, half Pakistani. So.
Yeah. born in Australia?
Yeah, I was born in Brisbane, and I
Yeah.
moved to Sydney very young, so I'm from Sydney. So.
Sydney boy.
Yeah.
And how old were you when you came to Brisbane?
I moved here when I was 15. So my mum moved here originally when I was 12, and she was like, "You coming?" I was like, "Absolutely not." So I live with a couple of mates in Sydney. And then
Whereabouts in Sydney are you from?
in Mount Druitt, so 2770. Nah, and then
Represent your residents.
yeah, you know, from the area. Nah, and then I was getting into a bit of trouble with a couple of friends and that. Yeah, and his mum sent me to Queensland. I remember sitting on the XPT traveling back, and I was shattered, like, because me and my mates were so close, and my family. I remember looking out the window, like my 10 girlfriends just broke up with me, and I was like, this is the worst thing that's happened to me in my whole life. And then I come down here, I was very confused, and I was a scared kid. And then yeah, I found boxing, and the best thing that ever happened to me in my whole life. So yeah, very grateful for it.
Yeah,
So.
nice.
What was the thing? I can remember Luke telling me this, that you'd just play basketball all day, waiting for the training, and then as soon as training, you'd be trained all night.
Yeah. So what would
Rather
happen?
than go to school.
Yeah. So I would. My lifestyle was pretty crazy. My family actually thought I was on drugs growing up, because even now I'm still the same. I used to wake up at 2 p.m. Luke would pick me up from my house. He would drive me to training, and I would train. This was after that period. And then I would train, I'd go home, I'd hang out with my mates, and we'll go out and we'll run amok. And then I'll come home at 4. And then as the sun comes up, I'll watch all the footy. I'd have it all recorded on Foxtel. And I'll pass out at about 4 a.m., sleep till 2. And the time you're talking about, I used to go to school, WAG school, play basketball, and I'd ride my pink penny board to the gym, and I'd do all 3 sessions. And then I would ride it home, and then again watch the footy and watch the boxing and head to bed. So
Training, sports.
yeah.
So you sleep all day.
Yeah, sleep all day. Even now, I still sleep all day. ATAR, nah.
Sloth.
yeah, the sloth, the high beast, the sloth, the same thing. But yeah, and then with my first fight, I remember it was Pacquiao versus Floyd, and it was like around the same time, and I think that's why I work the way I do now, like as hard as I do. I remember just watching the all accesses of Floyd's, and every night they had all of Mayweather's career and all of Pacquiao's careers, and I was doing the dumbbell workouts in the morning before my first fight.
Amateur fight.
Yeah, before my first amateur fight, doing dumbbell workouts, running at night, going to school, doing 3 sessions, trying to work like Floyd Mayweather. It was crazy.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, it was crazy.
You just wanted to adopt that world champion type of
Yeah.
mentality,
The
You
lifestyle.
didn't know any different, did you?
Nah, the GOAT. And I'm very competitive. Like, now I'll play, my mate's better than me at a phone game, I would jam it until I'm better. Like,
Yeah,
anything.
yeah.
I want to be the best at everything.
Just not table tennis, eh?
Nah. Hey, if you get me a table tennis thing, I'll be
I've already
preferring.
pumped him at table tennis.
I don't know if it was I don't know. I think it was 17-21. That's not a
A
pump
win's a
at the
win,
minute.
baby.
Yeah,
Win's
you
a
take
win.
it.
Yeah, wow. So you're
Hey, look, I'm cooking. I ain't blushing. I'm red.
It ain't easy being cheesy.
Hey, he told me he's never gonna play me again as well.
Never.
I've been looking up tips on my phone and tutorials on how to be a better ping pong player. Ask Miles because he's been better than it.
Yeah, speak to Lynn Sandstrom. She's a table tennis player.
I might have to.
Yeah, you should. You need
get some
to.
private sessions off her. So you're big into your NRL,
Yeah.
into the footy, like you follow it religiously.
Yeah, I follow the dogs religiously. I watch all the games, but yeah, I love the doggies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when are you fighting next? Because you're before me now, possibly on Liam's card.
Yeah, hopefully 5 weeks, 6 days. In
5
counting.
weeks, 6 days.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
That's what I'm fighting. We got a name, but I won't say it because you just don't know.
But you're in a position now to be able to just train. You're at an age where just whatever comes up, like there's no urgency for the big names just yet. This is just time to really still create that pro career. And I think you're way past that whole jaw incident. That's all in
Yeah,
the
no,
background.
for
That's
sure, yeah.
behind us.
Yeah. That's definitely behind us. I think it was behind us after my first fight back, I'd say. Because, like, people were questioning the jaw, but I was sparring Hardman, I was sparring Tim, I was sparring Connor Wallace, I was sparring some big boys, you know? And like, never had an issue with the jaw. So if anyone's in question still, you're mistaken.
Touch wood.
The hype beast. We'll keep it there. And look, we'll have you back on again.
Yeah, sweet.
And we might even tap into other stories and things like that.
Yeah, easy.
This is the fun thing about this whole podcast thing. It's always changing.
Yeah.
You know, new fights, new fighters coming on.
Yep.
and we'll tap into the whole All-Star crew, and we'll get some external people on as well. So it was your turn. I remember saying to you, I was like, "Oh, we've got to get you on." You're like, "Yeah, drag me out. You know, have me on later on." You know.
All right, he come out to me today. We're at the bottle over there. He goes, "You keen for tonight?" And I go, "What's on tonight?" "Oh yeah, I'm keen as for the footy." And he goes, "No, bro, are you coming to the podcast?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's right, that's right. Yeah, I'll be there."
Yeah, come on, man.
Yeah. So I watched it on the way here anyway.
These kids are full.
Cool, bro. And back to training tomorrow.
Yeah, that's it.
Man,
I'm running tonight actually, so back to training tonight.
So okay, yeah. What about you running? So we'll leave it on that anyway. Because I see you running 1 a.m., 2 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah.
Do you enjoy the early morning running?
Yeah, I think I adopted that from Mayweather in my first amateur fight.
Early morning, late at night.
Yeah, I just feel I like working when people are sleeping. And the other thing, it's a longer gap between your boxing sessions. You're supposed to have your most energy for, so it doesn't make sense to like do sprints in the morning, then strength conditioning, and then box at night. I reckon it's not it.
That goes to show how crazy this guy is. He's running around Caboolture at 1 a.m.
Yeah, King Street getting attacked by dogs.
Yeah,
You don't know how often I get attacked by dogs. I got attacked by my neighbour's Rottweiler like 3 weeks ago.
Wearing
Horrible.
a full hoodie and a tracksuit, and you're running through Caboolture, mate. You get shot.
Yeah.
Crazy, man.
How's Caboolture compared to Mount Druitt?
Paradise.
Child's place.
It's actually a really nice area though.
Caboolture?
Yeah, generally it's a nice area.
Mad.
Just a few scummy
Man,
people.
there's been
but-
some good fighters come out of Caboolture.
Yeah, there
Has been.
there has
Like, that's
been.
where Hardman's from. That's where you're from. Wilson, Miles.
Yeah.
There's plenty of good fighters come out of
Yeah.
Caboolture. Ethan Law.
Yeah, Ethan. Yeah.
There's some guns up there, mate.
So
Something in the water up at Caboolture. Mark Catalata, mate.
lots of chlorine.
God of War.
God of War, mate. He's that overhand rights of doom.
Man, all right, bro. Cheers to that, eh?
No,
All right, boys.
good,
Thank
all
you.
good.
Thank you, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Let's go.